Hello, I am back with a new toy. Does this actually sound better? I hope so. Which floof do I choose? Is this better? Can I do ASMR content now? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I find that shit disgusting as well. So, let me put this on. Okay, hopefully, this is an upgrade from the previous mic. So, I'm gonna have some coffee and breakfast and update you on how things are going. If you remember, there were some changes last week. I told you guys that, shit is about to get serious. And the Grumpy Marco is on. And Grumpy Marco played a little bit too much into Grumpy Marco, and I just ended up shooting myself in the foot. Um, yeah, not super serious, and not to get into too much details, but I guess that's what you're here for, right? So we introduced, you know, new compounds into the mix, compounds which I am very, very not keen on. And that plus stimulants plus my ADHDs plus lack of sleep and a caloric deficit is not fun for anyone, um, myself or the people around me. So you may guess that like I had a rough couple days, week, basically, for me and for Melissa, and we decided to take, and by we I mean me and Don, decided to take some back-to-back deload days to kind of catch up on sleep, remove the bologna from the mix, at least for now. Training has been going good. Still able to maintain most numbers or even progress in most sessions. So training has been going great. It's not like I need it for that just yet. Um, so at this point, it was just basically was just adding stress, cortisol into the mix, fucking up my mood, fucking up Melissa's mood, and all compounded together, fucking up my recovery, which is not great at this stage of prep. So you want to make sure your sleep is good or as good as possible. You want to prioritize your sleep. You want to prioritize your recovery and your training because those things are actually gonna push you forward. Just preserving muscle mass, but also burning fat. You burn a lot of fat during your sleep through oxidation, breathing out. That's how you burn most fat. So if I'm sleeping 3.5 hours, 4 hours a night, that's not going to be great. Training is going to suffer. Recovery is going to, training is going to take a hit. My mood is going to take a hit. My fat loss, uh, the fat loss process is going to take a hit. So bring that into the mix to sort of cover up the issues that are being caused by it already. So like I'm putting myself uh, in more of a catabolic state by not recovering, not sleeping properly, having high cortisol, and then using bologna in the mix to try and cover up the issues that are being caused by it is a little bit silly. So I'm glad that is out for now. I had a couple decent nights of sleep, and by decent I mean like 5.5 to 6 hours instead of 3 or 4. So I'm happy about that. And my coffee is getting cold, so give me a second. Oh, and I'm not sure if you can see them, but I got me and Melissa matching fluffy pajamas, and they're really cute and really comfy. Okay, regarding prep, we had a little deload, right? So we can now push a little bit harder to get that last layer of fat off. I'm not giving you my airy bung usual updates because I gotta keep you guys guessing, and it's kind of boring if I always do the same intro. So this is the intro for now. I will probably take you guys with me for a back day later at Supreme. I have a pretty chill day today. Just have an intake to go to in a couple hours. So I'm gonna chillax, meal prep, eat, finish the rest of my cardio, walk the baby. You sort of know the drill by now, hopefully. I kind of want to, I know it's late, but I did record like a video last week. I was just like not in the video is shit. The microphone, the microphone that I had before was shit, and it also clipped out and decided to fuck off midway through the video. So I'm not having it with editing. But I did record Olympia recap. So I know Olympia is old news, and now we got the Prague Pro, and we just had the British Grand Prix and whatnot. So maybe you're interested, maybe you're not. I'll just do a quick overview of it while I have breakfast to tell you guys my opinion on the results. Also, I'm going all in with this merch thing. Like I actually studied graphic design for a couple of years in high school before I took a complete fucking 180 and went for sports science in university. Tell me you have ADHD without telling me. This is just a mock-up, like a sample that I did, and it's basically just for me. But you guys tell me if you're interested in like having, you know, little merch things with the Overcome logo in this case. Yes, I just switched the coffee to this one because it looks better. And if it looks better, it tastes better, right? Where was I going with this? I am doing monthly releases of merch, basically, because I have a lot of ideas over here. My plan is not to make a bunch of profit with it. Uh, it's just to give you guys a way to support me. Also, give me something to do during prep that is not related to training and clients, which I love, but it's always nice to have, you know, diversify your interests and your hobbies. I have the drum kit over there, but lately I've been so tired that I barely have been playing it, which kind of is sad. But I know I'm gonna get back to it anyways. It's just drums are cardio if you, especially if you're like sort of a metalhead like I am. So it's nice to have something that, allows me to be creative in a different way and also to spread a message that I enjoy, whether it is about Christ, whether it is about mindset and bodybuilding. I try to put a little bit of myself in each shirt. So if you go to my Shopify link, you will see the merch drop. It will be available until the end of November. So if you're interested, I'll put the mock-ups somewhere here on the video so you can see them until the end of October, until the 31st, Halloween. Uh, they're going to be 10% off. It's worldwide shipping, so you're basically paying me for a couple coffees, and I need coffee, a lot of coffee. Okay, I'm gonna do my breakfast. I'll meet you guys on the table to discuss the Olympia a little bit. What? Yeah, big stretchy man. Good morning, baby. You wanna have your breakfast as well? So healthy, so very consistent. We're not here for excitement. We're here for gains. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, before I go into the Olympia recap, I just want to give a quick shout out to my boy Oscar. He just did his first pro qualifier as a super heavyweight. I know, my man, if you're watching this, that you're not super happy with the result, but be fucking proud of yourself, yeah? Like, he competed in Classic Physique last year. It was close to his weight cap. is a big boy. So we decided to go super heavy this year. He won the overall at the cockpit earlier and did the pro qualifier. He got fifth place, but like for his first season as a super heavy win win a regional, win the overall, and place fifth on the pro qualifier, man. You'll be fucking proud of yourself. And thank you for introducing me to cold cream of rice, because this shit is the fucking bomb. This is awesome. It fluffs up better. I don't have whey drip on this because I don't have whey with this meal. Uh, but yeah, you add a little bit of a whey drip. If you have a little bit of peanut butter, or if you have dark chocolate like I do as well in one of my meals, you just let it melt and then you put it in the fridge or in the freezer so it gets like a little crackly. Put a little bit of salt on top. Amazing. So thank you, Oscar, and be fucking proud of yourself, man. And God bless you for your engagement. I'm super, super happy for you. Now, let me take a bite of this and we'll go into the Olympia recap. So, what to say? Now that the dust is settled, I'm actually happy that I'm doing this right now because I get a little bit emotional about big muscly men posing on stage. Start with the Open Olympia because I think that was the more contentious one. I wasn't happy that Eric won. Not because I have anything personally against Eric. I don't know the guy, God bless him. I do not vibe with his physique. There are certain things in his physique, certain flaws in his physique that I cannot overlook for the sake of me. It's frustrating for me as a fan of bodybuilding because I think there are physiques who can be way a lot better than Derek and are structurally. But at the end of the day, it's the whole package. And yes, I do not like, he has no separation in his arms. His chest is always not in condition, not striated. Then yes, you turn into the back and he has probably one of the best backs, almost probably one of the best backs ever. Um, and glutes as well. I know that people and some judges say that shows are won from the back. Come on, man, it's a full package, and I can't. As a fan, I can't have a Mr. Olympia uh, that misses the mark so much from the front. With that being said, Samson completely shit the bed. He went for conditioning by himself. He looked really good, and he looked like he was very conditioned. But you put him next to the other guys, he was smaller and flat. So I don't know if it was just a peaking issue. I think he just pushed way too hard and ended up losing a little bit of muscle, and that made him look small, which is crazy to say about Samson. I know he's huge, but it made him look small next to Derek, next to Adi, even next to Andrew as well. Adi, he has a lot of strong points. There also, I think from the front, it's lights out. Like he it's beats Derek. Uh, I would say in every pose from the front. uh, including the front lat spread, which is not a good pose for either. From the back, he does lack a little bit of leg thickness, and you can see that his quads are very strong, but when he turns around to the back, he lacks a little bit of adductor um, and hamstrings, and he's just not as conditioned as Derek. I did give him the back lat spread. I think it was very close between them. I also think Derek shed the bed a little bit at finals. The same way that Adi shed the bed at prejudging. So it was super close. I did think Adi won at finals. There are also certain flaws in his physique, uh, like the leg width from the back, and especially like the imbalance from his left to right quad. It's not there at first sight, but it's one of those things that like once you see it, you cannot unsee it, and it's very evident and distracting, at least for me. I wouldn't have had a problem if either Adi or Andrew won. I'm okay with Derek winning at this point after the dust settled a little bit. Um, but as a fan of the sport, I would be Super happy if they would have given it to Andrew. I think he improved a lot and he finally brought good condition. He does need a little bit of size from the back, and he just needs to fix those side poses. I just think he doesn't display his physique to the best of his ability in the side chest and side tricep, and that costs him greatly because he gets completely obliterated by almost everyone else in the lineup, in the top 10 even, on those poses. But he does have the size, he just doesn't display it. He looks like super uncomfortable in those poses. That's something that I can relate to. But it is fixable. And man, you're at the top of the game. You have all the resources to fix it, so just fix it, man. I think if he fixes those side poses, he's very, very dangerous, and I can see him winning the Olympia, to be honest. To conclude, kind of, so I don't keep talking in circles, I understand why they gave it to Derek. I do think it was more of a case of like it being a very competitive lineup and people kind of shitting the bed and Derek taking the title, then Derek like coming in and completely shutting the door because he brought this amazing package or anything like that. I think Derek was better actually last year. I just think the other guys were worse. So Derek took it, which is kind of a sad or not sad, but it's kind of a underwhelming note to, take the title home. Not because, you slammed the door and you really nailed it, but basically because the other guys kind of messed up. But that's the name of the game. The best person on stage on that night wins the show. And that was Derek. Now, another bite, then let's go for classic. Okay, I like that. It was like 5 bites. Super happy for Ramon. Really happy to see him winning. I think he was a very awesome guy. I I know his story. I speak Portuguese. I'm Portuguese. I'm not Brazilian, but I am aware of his background. He comes from a really rough, really poor background. That to see him make the most out of all the support that he got back home and finally reach the top of the sport at his level is just kind of an awesome, heartwarming story. But putting that aside and staying objective, I think he was very improved, and I think he improved enough, and Mike sort of regressed enough for him to take the title. I think it was pretty close, to be honest, between them, and I can see the argument for either of them taking it. But I think the weight cuts, the extra weight that Mike had to lose to fit his new height cap, ended up um, being detrimental. You can't see it in a lot of the shots, but in the shots that you can see it, you can really see it, uh, especially on the back double. The leg width is really liking. He's very conditioned. His back is like, it's super close, man, because like it depends on what you're looking at. Tyler, I saw his breakdown of the judging, and he gave the pose to Ramon, which if you take away the upper body and just look at the lower body, it's like lights out. Ramon has way thicker legs from the back, uh, very conditioned, very good. But if you look to the back, I mean, yes, Ramon is conditioned. He has a very good detail, but Mike is just so big, man. Like his taper is ginormous. He has a small waist. He has a good taper. He has good arms from the back as well. So it's hard to say. To be honest, I think Terrence got kind of lost in the mix, but I would argue that regarding the back shot, like the back double bicep, I would probably take Terrence over both of them. If we're going by overall uh, symmetry and structure and balance and all of that, super conditioned, striated glutes, separated hamstrings, decent leg width better than Mike's in proportion. The back lacked a little bit of thickness, but I mean, it's kind of basically in between Ramon and Mike. Like Ramon also was not super thick; he was very detailed. And I think Terrence had a good balance between both of them. So I would probably even give the back pose by that criteria to Terrence. But I think Mike, again, due to the extra weight cut, uh, ended up ended up losing a bit of size. And I don't know, obviously, what he did for the peaking, but it seemed like they tried to fill him up very quickly, obviously, for stage. And it seemed like he had like this layer still of water, especially throughout his upper body, um, which didn't look great in comparison to Ramon, that because he was really, really dry. So Classic was super competitive, as always. I wouldn't be mad with any of them, Terrence, Mike, or Ramon taking the title. And I think like if they competed again, all three of them at the Arnold, it would be a coin toss between Ramon and Mike at least again. So it's nice to see, and it's very competitive. And I'm excited for next year and for the coming years of Classic Physique. But especially because, man, that top five, Josema and Niall, they were so much improved from last year, and I just love their physiques. I personally, as a fan, those are the guys I would have. Uh, yeah, probably. I love Terrence. I prefer Niall or Josema. Um, I think height does play a little bit of a factor. I know we don't judge height in bodybuilding, but it does, especially like in a more subjective category like classic physique, it does matter in how kind of the physique translates in comparison, how imposing a physique is on stage. So it's hard to kind of ignore for me, but that's why I'm not a judge, right? I would love to see like either Josema or Niall come back next year and get on that top three at least, and I think they have all the potential in the world to do that. Josema, super improved, always hard as freaking nails, man, like so conditioned. His posing improved as well, and Niall is just like crazy. My man has no waist at all, and he added a decent amount of size in the right places, so it even accentuates more the fact that he has no waist. I think he has all the potential. If he puts a little bit more size in the right places again, give him 1 year or 2 years, he's going to be dangerous, and he's going to be on that top three. I'm pretty sure. Um, so yeah, really competitive overall, both in open and classic. As a fan, I do think classic was competitive in a better way, if that makes sense, than the open category was. Even though I am a classic guy, I am a classic competitor, but I'm open at heart. Sounds sweet, I know. Um, I think bodybuilding is bodybuilding. And I think at the end of the day, I'm not for weight caps. So, if God wills it and your body allows it, then you just keep improving and you keep growing, and eventually, hopefully, you go open, right? Um, that's my vision, and that's my understanding of the sport. So I love open bodybuilding. That's the OG thing. That's the like the cream of the crop for me. But I do think the way the shows are judged, the criteria, I don't think it translates to the best physiques on stage, or I don't think it translates to the best physiques winning every time. I would personally, again, my opinion, would love to see. I know this is like a hot take, but I would love to see no more classic, no more classes, remove the weight caps, and just let guys grow, and the cream will rise to the top. Cue Macho Man Randy Savage, right? But yeah, that's my opinion. And people say like, oh, like the golden era and the this era and that era, and now like bodybuilding is dying and the physiques. Man, this is probably the goldest era of bodybuilding. The issue is not with the pool of competitors, is that everyone is freaking spread around over 3 or 4 divisions. If you would remove the weight caps and remove the divisions and let the classic guys, let the 212 guys, and everyone just go open and grow and present their best packages. Imagine seeing CBOM on stage. Well, again, but open, like with proper off season, like we saw Urs, or any we will see in the future. Like imagine seeing CBOM on stage with Urs, with Ramon, with Mike, with Keon, with Emma, with Niall, and like Samson Dauda and Andrew Jack, and all of those guys like at their 200%. That would be a freaking insane lineup, right? But we don't do that, and so the pool of competitors becomes sort of diluted across divisions, which, in my opinion, is kind of sad. But it is what it is. So overall, super competitive Olympia, fun to watch. Got a little bit uh, emotional, not in a sad way, but in a like, oh, I don't agree with this decision way. Uh, with Derek winning, now that the dust is settled, I can kind of understand. I went back, rewatch and rewatch and rewatch and better quality footage, and I not super happy, but I understand the best overall package on that night they wins, and that was Derek. So whether you think that is a good way or a bad way or whatever way that's to win the Olympia, that's your opinion or my opinion, but he was overall the best that day, and he deserved to win. So congrats, Derek. And I'm really looking forward to see the Prague Pro this weekend because we're gonna have Samson Dauda on stage again, fuller, hopefully. Um, Probably still not at 100%, but better than the Olympia, which was not that hard. Against Keon, against Martin, against Grizo, who just won the British Grand Prix. James Hollins said, uh, who else is going to do? Juan Pradel, not Joan, like everyone in America seems to call him. Juan. Juan. Pradel is also competing, and I really think he's going to be awesome in a couple of years. So yeah, very exciting lineup for the Prague this weekend. I'm looking forward to see it. I'm going to finish my meal here. I'm just yapping and yapping for too long. Back at the gym to train some back. Finally, probably my best body part. Maybe you learned something. Maybe you don't. I'm usually pretty shitty at gym vlogging, but maybe this thing will make it a little bit easier for you guys to hear me and blah, blah, blah. Okay, see you in a bit. So, as I finish my cardio here and get ready to go to the gym, I forgot that I have a pretty cool announcement. I'm gonna do a show before my show. I'm gonna do Mark's Max Muscle online invitational, uh, which is pretty fun. Gives me some extra motivation during prep to pose, and this channel just provides so much entertainment, man. Like I really get a lot out of it, out of those picture comparisons, Marky Mark. So thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for putting this together for the community and all of us to give a chance to, nobody bodybuilders to get a little bit of exposure on your channel, especially doing it with prize money, man. That is such a badass move. As an amateur bodybuilder, you always pay to compete, man. So the fact that you're doing this for free, I don't need to register, and I have the chance to earn a couple bucks, bro, God bless you. So, if you guys want to see my entry and see where I place, go follow Mark's Max Muscle on YouTube. Check his videos. His picture comparisons are really entertaining. He's really funny. He has the best impressions. And yeah, let's see where I place with my 6 weeks out. Physique. I'm gonna finish this cardio, get ready to go to the gym, and train some back. Salami Chet Supreme. Go.
Yeah, bro. Okay. Did you get the skill? Did you get the skill? The skill? Oh yeah, yeah. I have like this whole thing with everything. It says 20% body.
Got them fancy Vulcan straps. It's like the coffee. It looks better, it tastes better, if it looks better, feels better, I guess. It does actually feel better on my wrists though. Also, with the pullover, I do find you do want to get a good stretch, but not so much that you lose the tension in your lats. So if you imagine I'm doing this standing, this would be around my maximum range of motion. And after that, you're just putting a bunch of sort of internally rotating in most cases and getting a bunch of shear in your rotator cuff and not so much out of your lats. I used to go fully over here, but I find that you lose a lot of tension in the lats there and just end up using momentum. So I just try to stick more to that mid-range portion here, and I feel it way better. I think it's working. Let's more or less warm up here. Actually, my first session using the Vulcans, but I do feel like the wider grip is better. I'm gonna switch over there. Oh, let's go. Fuck Drake. Oh. Jesus. Can't just fueled by the 8 of fucking Drake. I can't, man. That was decent. 110%. 5.5-ish. I maintained pretty well. Go for the back off now. So we can start doing some actual fucking work. Oh. This is probably my favorite exercise of today. Probably my favorite exercise for back lately. It's also such a good exercise to teach scapular depression to most of my clients. Can really find a good movement pattern and focus on keeping that shoulder blade down and driving through external rotation. It just feels fucking amazing. And again, you don't want to go all the way up here. Okay? So this fuck all for your lats. So keep that shoulder blade down. And don't twist your hips. Yeah. Even with me, I do have some scapular dyskinesia. Just means that one of my shoulder blades moves slightly different than the other one due to a previous injury, which is my right one in this case. So I really need to focus on keeping my shoulder blade down with my pulling work, but with my pressing work as well, to make sure tension stays in the right spot. Something that most people get confused about hypertrophy is that their muscles are pretty fucking dumb. Yeah, and mine as well. Like they don't know they can count reps. They don't know what fucking implement you're using. If you're using a cable, if you're using a bar, if you're using dumbbells. What matters is the accumulation of mechanical tension in the tissue. So if you're just focused on getting shit from A to B, then you're losing already. It's not just about moving weight, it's about creating tension in the right places and keeping it there. Think like you're trying to fill up a bar. And each rep gives you one more line in your bar. A good rep is a full line if you keep tension in the muscle. But a shitty rep where you're just kind of bleeding tension throughout all of the other adjacent structures, and it's like a shitty charger. That's your little line on your battery, right? You're trying to fill it up. So always focus on quality over quantity. Can't make up for shitty work with more work. That's not how it works. The thing about hard work, it's not about looking. like it's hard. It's not about moving shit around and screaming your ass off. It should feel hard though. That's what she said. It should feel like a crazy amount of tension in the tissue that you're trying to work on, right? Tension, 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 mechanical tension. Drive that in your head. Not number of reps, not necessarily number of sets after a certain point. Of course, there's a minimum threshold that you need. How much tension can you accumulate and how many sets you need to do that so you can still recover and do it again as soon as possible. Okay, that being said, let's fucking work. You get nothing there at the end. Like you go too far back. There's such a thing as too much range of motion. Like from here to here, you get lets. Once you start driving too much of your elbow behind you, depends. If it's like this behind you, it's fine. That's lets. If it's like this behind you, it's fuck all. You're just crunching and putting a lot of tension in your rotator cuff. Because what you're doing when you're swinging from here to here, it's this. And that's doing nothing for your lets. Think of driving into your hip and think of squeezing your elbow into your rib cage. This is max for me because my lat is here, but like you want to drive your elbow into your body and down. Once you can't get more out of this and you start internally rotating, then you're not this is max and you're just impinging in your nerves here and doing fuck all for your legs. So you want to go from drive your elbow into your rib cage here, and that's it. From here I'm getting like a maximum contraction in my legs. I can't get more out of this without just moving around the weight instead of moving the weight with my legs. Yeah, yeah, squeeze your elbow into your side and drive down into your hip. Yeah, fine. You can do it now, man. Yeah, I'm gonna do like 70, so you can do it. You can do it. It's fine. Like keep your shoulder down. See this?
Yeah.
Look, yeah. Think of getting your scapula like this and drive it down, and now you start from here and squeeze your elbow into your side. Yeah. And keep it down. Yeah. At the beginning of each rep, think to yourself, is my shoulder down? Yeah. Okay? You don't need to repeat it every time. You just can't let it go from there. Yeah. Keep it down. Good.
It was easy. Did you also show this is hard? Why?
Yeah, because this, okay, look, this is no less, right? What's working here? It's mostly like your levator scapulae, like your traps and the muscles that elevate your scapula, but not your lats depress your scapula and extend your shoulder. So yeah, yeah.
I will try to keep it in mind.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Ah, you're welcome, man. God bless. It doesn't matter. Like it matters. Obviously, weight matters to a certain point, but like your muscles like don't they can't perceive weight, they can count reps. You can, but your muscles don't. They just respond to stress and tension. They don't know if it's coming from a plate or a cable or whatever the fuck is coming. But you just need to, if your goal is hypertrophy, especially, like you just need to focus on accumulating tension. If you're going, and that may mean 40 kilos or maybe 30 kilos will create more tension if you keep it in the structure that you actually want to, right? Instead of just moving shit from A to B. Like, all respect for powerlifting, I powerlifted before, but it's not powerlifting, right? You're not trying to just move the weight from here to here, because then you can use your hips into it, you can use a bunch of shit to do it, right? But if the goal is to work your legs, then you need to keep tension there. Yeah, there you go. Cream of rice. No actual food. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, nice to meet you.
Market. Oh, nice to meet you, man.
This is the Titan training. Yeah, I can tell. Holy fucking shit, bro.
Nah,
Crazy
you
physique.
can. But
So
where?
trying to look like
Where?
him.
Yeah, I'm hiding my shame because I'm looking small as fuck every day.
Bro, shut up, man. You're twice my size. God damn.
Yeah, body does market is real.
Yeah,
Body does. It's the true motivator, you know.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
If you go, you won't stop.
Yeah,
Love
exactly.
it.
Exactly.
Okay.
You want to sit over here? Oh yeah, that anabolic the juice, the true juice. Yeah, the spice. Oh, fuck. Muy picante, yeah. Piri piri. Yeah. If you never did a lever row or this formative T-bar row, prepare to get humbled. Also, Q, if you're a client of mine watching this, whether it's a lever row or a T-bar row, think of pushing your rib cage against the pad and don't let your chest come off, okay? So you're really trying to drive your elbows out and squeeze the fuck out of your upper back. Don't round over too much. And if you really want to fry the fuck out of your upper back, just finish with some calcio shrugs. Oh, sweet Jesus. Done for today, and I'm gonna stop calling these pump checks because these are flat checks, like a pancake. But this is what we have at 6 weeks out, so flatness is a good thing right now. So can't look good, or you can't look as good and as full as you want to look all prep. But I didn't give you guys a physique update, so I'll give you a little post-workout update. And was back day today, as you have, well, probably seen by now. I guess that's how video editing works. Not looking super bad, right? Back is always the last thing to get shredded. Lower back. Glutes and hamstrings are always like my stubborn areas. So that's how we know we still have a bit to go. Front. Front is looking pretty good. See you on the next one. Hopefully, don't die. In the meantime, sorry about the week off, but hey, I deserve it, yeah? So, tune in. I'll be as consistent as possible with at least one video a week. Follow me on Instagram at marco.progressiveovercome. DM me for coaching. Look at my merch because I'm having fun with that. And as always, God bless you. Let's land this strong so we can go to a pro qualifier, not just to go to a pro qualifier, but to show what a pro level physique can look like. Okay, that's the goal. It's hopefully the start of your pro career, of my pro career. Who knows? I'm not putting that pressure on myself. But what I do want to show is that I'm at least able to achieve pro level condition and just a pro level of work leading up to this show. Yeah, tune in. God bless you. See you in the next one. Peace.